Hi there. Today we're going to explore the plot of the 2018 film Adrift. A wounded girl wakes up in the middle of a cabin on a half-submerged yacht. Regaining consciousness, she immediately begins calling out for Richard and unsuccessfully tries to escape. After calming down a bit, she removes the heavy gear she's wearing and manages to climb onto the deck through a hatch. There, she finds a safety line that appears to have been attached to a man. Seeing the broken carabiner, she starts crying. The story shifts to 5 months earlier. At this point, our heroine, Tammy, arrives at the port of Tahiti. Tammy worked as a chef on a cruise liner. After her contract ended, she decided not to return home and instead stayed on the resort island.
How long will you be here in Tahiti?
No idea.
And your final destination? Okay.
She quickly adapted to her new life, finding work doing odd jobs at the port and spending her free time exploring and surfing. One day, while working on the dock, Tammy meets Richard, the captain of a small yacht that has just arrived in port. The two are immediately drawn to each other and agree to meet the next day for dinner. During their conversation, it becomes clear that they are kindred spirits. Both love traveling and sailing and are not interested in a settled, conventional lifestyle. On their next date, Tammy and Richard go sailing. During the trip, Tammy demonstrates impressive sailing skills. The narrative then returns to the present. Tammy is adrift on a damaged yacht in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Using binoculars, she scans the horizon, hoping to spot Richard. She then attempts to send an SOS signal via the radio, but to no avail. Desperate and exhausted, Tammy collapses onto the deck and begins to cry. The film takes us back to the past, showing the romantic bond developing between the two characters. During this time, they spend all their time together, taking long walks and enjoying a carefree, happy life. Awakening from these pleasant memories, Tammy once again picks up her binoculars. This time, she spots a lifeboat on the horizon. Revitalized by hope, Tammy tries to sail closer to the lifeboat. However, the yacht is badly damaged, and a broken mast prevents her from steering properly. Tammy decides to cut the rope holding the mast, which frees the yacht but also causes it to lose its main sail. Despite this, she seals a leak with reinforced tape, pumps water out of the cabin, and sets up a small mast at the bow of the yacht. After these efforts, the yacht becomes somewhat navigable. Reaching the lifeboat, Tammy ties a rope around herself and dives into the water without hesitation. As she approaches, she finds Richard. He is alive but too injured to swim. With great difficulty, she manages to pull him back to the yacht and hoist him onto the deck using the rope.
It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
The story shifts again to the past. This time, the couple is at a restaurant, having a sweet conversation about life before heading off to dance in high spirits. The harsh reality is far from ideal. Richard has suffered a severe leg fracture, and Tammy has improvised a temporary splint using available materials. Additionally, Richard struggles to breathe due to a large bruise on his side, a clear sign of broken ribs. In the next scene, it becomes clear how the characters ended up on this yacht. One day, while walking through a market, They were discussing their future plans and choosing a destination for their travels. At that moment, Richard ran into acquaintances who urgently needed to travel for business. They offered Richard a substantial reward to deliver their yacht to its destination. The journey was long, but the couple had been planning a similar adventure and eagerly agreed. Moreover, the yacht was luxurious, and the money earned would have allowed them to live comfortably for a year. Packing their belongings, the couple set sail. Meanwhile, Tammy and Richard have been adrift in the ocean for 2 days. After calculating their coordinates, Tammy discovers troubling news. They have deviated significantly from their intended course. Their search area now covers over 1,500 square miles. This part of the ocean lacks both air and sea traffic, meaning there's no hope for rescue. Realizing this, Tammy falls into despair, but Richard comforts her and refuses to let her give up. Later, Tammy uses a rope to measure the yacht's speed, as well as the direction of the current and wind. The data shows that under the current conditions, their journey to their intended destination would take several months. Reviewing the map, Tammy proposes changing their route to try to reach the Hawaiian Islands instead. This would almost halve the time spent at sea. Despite the high risk, Tammy decides to alter their course and sets a new direction. Finally, she takes a moment to focus on herself. Standing in front of a broken mirror, she stitches up a gruesome head wound. Then she gathers all their food supplies and brings them to Richard. Opening a jar of peanut butter, the two savor it, momentarily forgetting their troubles. On the 5th day, Tammy checks their route and realizes the yacht has drifted slightly off course. She believes this is due to her miscalculations, as she has no prior experience with navigation. Feeling the tension rise, Richard once again calms her, and she decides to inspect the steering mechanism. This requires her to dive underwater. Her suspicion proves correct. A torn sail is tangled in the rudder. After several unsuccessful attempts and taking a deep breath, Tammy finally manages to free the mechanism. All this time, Tammy continues to care for Richard, treating his wounds. On the 10th day, they run out of drinking water, with only a week's worth of canned food left. In this dire situation, Richard suggests that Tammy set aside her principles and use a harpoon for fishing, arguing that starving to death is worse than killing a fish. However, Tammy refuses, as she is a committed vegetarian and doesn't want to harm living creatures as long as they still have some food left. One day, heavy rain begins to pour. Tammy quickly places all available containers on the deck. This allows her to replenish their supply of fresh water, and for the first time in a long while, she and Richard drink their fill. On the 18th day, Tammy accidentally discovers a stash of alcohol in the cabin. This allows the two to relax a bit and temporarily forget about their dire situation. After another 11 days of drifting, Tammy spots a large ship at night. She immediately begins launching signal flares, desperately trying to attract attention. She waves her arms and shouts, but it's all in vain. The ship passes by their yacht and quickly vanishes into the fog. In a state of shock, Tammy breaks down into hysteria, but she eventually realizes it was just a hallucination. Richard, comforting her, explains that hallucinations are normal in their condition, but she must not succumb to them because they've only survived this long thanks to her actions.
Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Hallucinating? Oh my god, we're gonna die out here!
We might.
You're supposed to say that!
You'd rather I lied to you.
Yes, please lie to me! Oh, just tell me it's gonna be okay. Tell me this is real. We're probably dead already.
Delirious? Yeah, but you're not dead.
Over time, Richard's condition worsens. He sleeps most of the time and struggles to speak a few words when awake. Despite this, Tammy continues to care for him and tries not to lose hope, knowing they're still together. The film flashes back to the past again. In this scene, Richard confesses his love to Tammy and proposes to her. The overjoyed young woman happily agrees, but their happiness is short-lived. The next day, strong winds rise over the ocean. Using the radio, the couple learns about an approaching storm. They attempt to change course, But unfortunately, it's already too late. The storm rapidly grows in intensity and quickly overtakes their yacht. The couple takes all possible precautions, but it's not enough. Gigantic waves toss the yacht like a toy ship and soon capsize it. Richard, having sent Tammy to the cabin for safety, stays at the helm until the last moment, which causes him to be thrown overboard. When Tammy regains consciousness this time, she starts crying and, addressing Richard, utters the words that she is finally ready to let him go. The audience is then shown what truly happened. Richard was never on the lifeboat. In a critical moment, Tammy's mind conjured his presence to help her cope with seemingly insurmountable challenges. In her darkest moments, she imagined consulting with him to make the right decisions. Now, she has come to terms with this and can finally accept his death. Tammy continues her journey. She learns to use a harpoon and can now catch fresh fish for sustenance. On the 41st day of drifting, a bird suddenly lands on the yacht's deck. Surprised, Tammy grabs her binoculars and spots the long-awaited shoreline on the horizon. She has managed to reach Hawaii on her own. Tammy fires a signal flare, and this time a passing ship notices her. The crew provides her with some food and tows her yacht to safety. On shore, in the next scene, Tammy returns to Tahiti. Her first stop is Richard's yacht. Looking at photographs, she reflects on all the happy moments they shared together. Richard Sharp drowned during Hurricane Raymond. He was 33 years old. Tammy Oldham spent 41 days adrift in the open ocean, completely alone. At the time, she was just 24 years old. In her memoir, she admitted that she survived only because of Richard. His voice guided her throughout the entire ordeal. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this recap, give it a like, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.